Hello everyone, in this video I am going to talk about simple storage service in AWS. It is a storage service in AWS where you store any kind of data, whether it is a text file, image file or any type of data such as CSV, XML or JSON. It is same as like Google Drive where you upload all your data sets. Now you store the data in a bucket. It is called as S3 bucket. So there are two type of S3 buckets present in AWS. First one we call it as general purpose bucket, in which objects are stored as individual entities. Second one is directory bucket, in which objects are stored in directories or folder. You can create up to 100 general purpose bucket and 10 directory bucket as per the limit in AWS. Now if you want to increase this limit, you have to go to service quota and you can increase the limit up to 1000 buckets. In the buckets, you basically store the object. Objects are basically the data itself. The data size cannot exceed 5 terabytes. So this is the standard limit. Hello everyone. In this video, we will be going to see how to create a S3 bucket, create a folder, upload a file into it, download a file and delete a file from S3 bucket. So first of all, you have to go to AWS Management Console. Next, what you have to do, you have to search for S3. You can find it here, or you can just go to search bar and you can press S3. Click on it. First of all, we have to create a bucket. So for that, you have to click on the create bucket option. Assign the bucket a name. Remember that your bucket name should be unique. So here I am writing my bucket name. Let us say first bucket. And I am giving some name. Let us say I have written 0045 in order to make it unique. Once it is done, we have to leave everything option as default. And then you have to click on create bucket option. Once it is done, you can go inside your bucket. Now, if you want to create a folder, you can just click on create folder option. Give your folder a name, such as I am giving the folder name as data. Then you can click on create folder. Now you can go inside your data folder. Now if you want to upload any type of file, you can just click on upload option. Here I am going to upload a CSV file. So I will upload here a CSV file. Now you have to click on upload. Currently my file is around only 2 MB, so it will take very less time to upload. If your file is larger, then it will take time. Once it is uploaded, you have to click on close. Now here you can see your file is get uploaded. Now if you want to copy the S3 location, what you have to do, you just have to tap on the file. Click on copy S3 URI. So what will happen? You can see the location here. So this is your location, S3 first bucket data folder twits.csv. So this is the format we write the location. Next, if you want to copy the URL, you can just copy the URL. But you cannot access it because it is block all the public access by default. Now if you want to download this file, you can just click on download file and you can get downloaded. Now if you want to open the file, you can just open it and see it. Now let us say if you want to delete this file, what you have to do, you just have to click on delete. And here you have to write permanently delete and click on delete. So this is how you create a S3 bucket, create a folder, upload a file into it and delete a file from it. Hello everyone. In this video, we will see how you can copy a file from a folder to another folder. Similarly, how you can move a file from one folder to another folder. First of all, you have to go inside your bucket. Next, I am going to create two more folders here. So I will click on create folder option. I am giving a name data copied. And I am clicking on create folder. Similarly, I am creating a one more folder, data target, and I am clicking on create folder. Now we have three files. Now first of all, what I am going to do? First of all, I am going to upload a file in my data folder. So I am clicking on upload, and here I am clicking on add files, and I am copying a CSV file here. Uploading a CSV file here. Next, you have to click on upload. Once it is done, I have to just click on the file that I want to copy and go to action option. In the action option, I can click on copy. I can provide the destination. So here I will click on browse S3 and I will click on destination as data copied. Once it is done, I will click on copy. Now we can see that our data is successfully copied into copied folder. Now what we are going to do, I am going to move the files from the data folder to the target folder. So what I will do, I will just click on here, click on actions and click on move. Now here I have to specify my destination. So I will click on browse and I will select the target folder, data target folder. Click on choose destination and click on move. Now we can see my file is moved from the data folder to the data target folder. Hello everyone, in this video I am going to talk about pre-signed URL in AWS S3. So let us understand what do you mean by pre-signed URL. A pre-signed URL is basically a link which is used to access the object present in S3 bucket. So let us say you have made a bucket in which all the permissions are disabled. For example, block public cases is disabled and access control list is also disabled, but you want to share that object to some other person. In that case, you can create a pre-signed URL for a limited period of time and share it to some other person. So let us see the demonstration how to do that. First of all, you go to S3, then you will click on create bucket and here you will give the bucket name. So let us say I am giving the bucket name as demo 5634. Currently you can see our ACL is disabled form and the block public access is also disabled. Let us make the bucket versioning enable and then click on create bucket. Now what you have to do, you have to, let us say you are uploading a file. So click on upload, click on add files, just upload one CSV file here. So I am uploading one file called as tweets.csv. Now click on upload. Next, what I am going to do, I am going to create a pre-signed URL. So I am selecting it, click on action, share with a pre-signed URL. So here you can see it is clearly written that pre-signed URL are used to grant access to an object for a limited time. So you can specify number of minutes also and number of hour also. So I am, let us say, specifying it for 10 minutes. Then I am clicking on click create pre-signed URL, and here I am getting the link. So when you copy this URL into your browser, you can download this file directly. So here you can see the file is automatically get downloaded. So this is the benefit of using pre-signed URL in AWS S3. Hello everyone, in this video we will be going to talk about data versioning. So let us understand what is data versioning. If you keep multiple variants of an object in the same bucket, it is called as data versioning. It means that, let us say, there is a file called as tweak.csv, and what you are doing, you are uploading this file in S3 bucket. Now you are doing some changes and you are again uploading the same file. So it will create two different versions of that file. So let us learn about what are the various properties of versioning. First of all, by doing versioning, you can keep multiple versions of an object. Second, it helps us to prevent accidental deletion or overwrite. Like if you delete one version of the file, you can retrieve the other version of the file also. Third thing, each version has its own unique ID. Fourth, you can retrieve the previous version of the file. Fifth, you can enable or disable versioning at any point of time in S3 bucket. Now let us see the demonstration. First of all, we will be going into AWS Management Console. Now here what you have to do, here you have to go to S3. Now remember that there are two ways to apply versioning. First of all, at the time of creation of a bucket, and second time after the bucket is created. Let us see both of them. First of all, if you want to create versioning, enable versioning at the time of bucket, what you have to do, you have to click on create bucket option, give your bucket a name, make sure it is unique. So I am giving the name as data 4567. You go down. Here in the bucket versioning section, you have to click on something called as enable. Now it is enable. Now what you have to do, you have to click it down and click on create bucket. Now here you can see, now the versioning is enabled for this bucket. So first of all, what you are going to do, let us say we are going to upload any file. For example, I am uploading any CSV file here. So I am clicking on upload option. I am clicking on add file. Let us say I have uploaded one file called as tweak.csv. Click on open, and here click on upload. Now it is uploaded. Now let us say again I am uploading tweak.csv file. So what I will do, click on upload, add files, tweak.csv. Now I click on upload. Now both these files are successfully uploaded. Now if you click on show version option, what will we do? You can see that there are two versions of this file and each of them have a unique ID. So at any point of time, you can retrieve both two versions of that file. Now let us see how you create versioning when the bucket is already created. So let us say this is my earlier bucket that I have created earlier. Now I want to enable versioning in this. So what should I do? I will go to the properties section and I will go to the bucket versioning option on edit, and here I will click on enable. Click on save changes, go to object. Let us say I will go to any folder. Let us say I am going to target folder. Now here I am uploading one more tweak.csv file.
click on add file. Click on upload. Click on close. And here if you enable show version, so what it will be showing? It will be showing you the multiple version of the file with the version ID. Clear? So this is all about data versioning in S3 bucket. Let us see you in the next video. Hello everyone. In this video we will be going to see how to run query on a file present in S3 bucket. So first of all, you have to click on S3. Now go to one of the buckets, such as let us say I am going to data 4567. Now you have to click on tweet.csv, click on action, and click on something called as query with S3 select. Now here in the SQL query option, there is a query given to you. Now you can click on run SQL query. Now you are facing some error. It is called query with query record delimiter found in the file. To allow quoted record delimiter, please set allow quoted record delimiter to true. So in order to resolve this type of error, what you have to do, you just have to go above and in the CSV delimiter section, you have to go to custom, and here you have to write this one. Once it is done, if you go down and if you click on run SQL query, it will be successfully executed. Now you can see it is successfully executed, and it will be displaying you the top 5 rows. Clear? Now as you can see, the header is not taken properly. So what you can do, you can just go above and you just have to click this option. Now if you run the SQL query again, now you can see everything looks good. So this is how you run SQL query on a S3 file. Hello everyone. In this video we will be going to learn about storage class in AWS. So first of all, let us understand what do you mean by storage class. Storage class are different level of storage which is used for various combination of availability, durability and cost. So there are 7 types of storage classes present in S3 which is used for different use case. So the first one that we are going to talk about is S3 standard. It is used when you want to access the data very often. It is very reliable and it is always available. And the cost of this storage class is pretty much higher. In most of the websites where we want to access the content at a higher speed, we use this type of storage class. Next, we have S3 intelligent tiering. This is used for in that case where the dataset is unpredictable access, like even let us say I have to access the data 10 times a month or 15 times a month. So for that point of time, we use intelligent tiering. So here the cost will totally depend on how often you access the data. It automatically saves the money between the frequent and infrequent tier access. Suppose that you are accessing the data frequently, so it will move to the frequent tiering. Suppose that if you are accessing the data not very frequently, so it will go to infrequent access tier. Third, we have S3 standard IA, which is infrequent access. In this storage class, you are not accessing the data very often, so the pricing will be pretty much low. It is good when you want backups for your data for your website and disaster recovery. Fourth, we have S3 one zone IA. It is used when the data set is accessed infrequently. Lower than the price is lower than the standard IA and it is cheaper. Next, we have S3 Glacier. It is used when you want to store your data for a longer period of time. Like you want to access the data 10 years back. So for that point of time, we use S3 Glacier. The cost is pretty much very low and it takes time to retrieve the data. For example, let us say I have a file 10 years back. I want to access that. So in order to retrieve it, it will take few minutes to hours, depending upon the size of the file. Next we have S3 Glacier Deep Archive. It is used when we have to store the data for a longer period of time. The cost is very lowest, but it takes around 12 hours or even more in order to retrieve the data. Next, we have S3 Reduced Redundancy Storage. It is used for non-critical data that can be easily recreated. The cost is slightly lower and it is less reliable. Now we have seen that there are various types of storage class. Now what we will be going to do, we will be conducting one demo to see how you can decide your storage class. So first of all, I am going to my AWS Management Console here. You have to go to S3. In S3, what you have to do? Let us say that if you want to go to create a bucket, or let us use any bucket which is already created. For example, data 4567. I am going into that. Let us say now I want to change the storage class for this. So what I am going to do? Here I will select a file and I want to change the storage class. So I will go on edit storage class. Now you can see various types of storage class here. Now you can select any one of them based on your use case and you have to click on save changes. Let us say I am selecting intelligent tiring and I am clicking on save changes. Now our storage class is successfully edited. This is how you can edit your storage class in S3 bucket. Hello everyone. In this video, we will be going to talk about lifecycle policies in S3 bucket. So let us understand what is lifecycle policies. Here, you manage the lifecycle of an object present inside S3 bucket automatically. Based on the age or any other criteria, you can define your actions. Let us understand two types of version. The first thing is called as current version. It is called as latest version of an object or an file. Similarly, there is non-current version. Non-current version means previous version of an object that have been replaced by a newer version. Now let us take an example in order to understand lifecycle policies. Let us say we have a file present inside my S3 bucket. After 30 days, I will move my file from standard to standard infrequent access. After 90 days, I will move my file from standard IA to Glacier stage. Then after 365 days, I will permanently delete my file. Then for non-current version, we can, for 30 days, we will transfer to standard infrequent access. For 90 days, we will transition to Glacier. Then after 365 days, I will expire that versioned bucket file. Now let us see a demo, like how you can perform this thing. So first of all, I am going to S3. I am going to create a bucket. Let us say I am giving a bucket name as data 3456, and I am enabling the versioning here, then clicking on create bucket. So there will be no space while writing your bucket name, always remember it. Then create bucket. Now my bucket is successfully created. Now what I will be going to do, I will be going to define my lifecycle policies. So first of all, let me upload a file. So I will click on upload button, and here I am going to upload one file. I am uploading the CSV file here. You can upload any type of file you can want, and I will click on upload. Once the file is uploaded, what we are going to do, I am going to define the lifecycle policies. For that, I have to go to the management. In the management, you have to create a lifecycle rule. First of all, you have to give the name of the rule. Let us say I have given yes rule 1. Here I am specifying where it should be applied. So I want to apply to all the objects in the bucket. First of all, I will select the first one, move current version of an object between storage class. So I'll click on this, and here I have to define, like, it will transfer from my standard storage class to standard IA after 30 days. Done. Now after 90 days, what we have to do, we have to send it to Glacier. So I will go to the Glacier. After 90 days, go to the Glacier. Clear? Next, after 365 days, it should get expired. So what I will do, I will click on expire current version of an object, and here I will write 365. Now this is for the current version. Now I am doing the same thing for non-current version also. So for that, what I have to do, here you have to select move non-current version, standard IA after 30 days. Add one more stage, Glacier after 90 days. Now I will select this permanently delete non-current version of an object after 365 days. So I will specify here 365. Now you can review your transition that you have done for current version and the non-current version. Clear? Next, after verifying it, what I will do, I will click on create rule. So this is how you create a lifecycle policies on an S3 bucket.
Hello everyone, in this video I am going to talk about cross-region replication in AWS S3. It is a feature which automatically replicates your data from an S3 bucket in one AWS region to another bucket in different AWS region. Now there is a question why there is a need of cross-region replication. First of all, disaster recovery. Suppose that entire region goes down due to a natural disaster. Your data will remain safe and accessible in that case also. Next, compliance requirement. Some governments want you to store your data in that particular region only. Third, latency reduction. Let us see, your customers are separate across the globe. Your cross-region replication can help
by placing your data closer to the end user. It helps us to reduce the time it takes for them to access your content. Last but not the least is data redundancy. By replicating your data across various AWS regions, you are adding an extra layer of protection against data loss. Now, let us see what are the different steps required to set up. First of all, you have to create a source bucket in US East 1 region. Then you have to create a destination bucket in US West 2 region. Now, make sure that your versioning is enabled in both the buckets. After that, you have to create an IAM rule which have the necessary permission such as AWS full access. Next, you have to go to your source bucket and configure the replication rules. After that, whenever you are uploading any file in source bucket, it will be automatically get replicated to the destination bucket. So this is the overall process of cross-region replication. Now let us see the demo. First of all, you have to go to S3. Now as we can see that we are in US East 1 region. Now I am creating the source bucket in this region. So click on create bucket, named it as CRR source. Now ACL is disabled, block public access is enabled, and here we have to turn on the bucket versioning. So click on enable. Now click on create bucket. Next, you have to create a destination bucket. So I am selecting the destination as US West 1. Now click on create bucket. I am naming it as CRR destination. ACL is disabled, block public access is enabled, and the bucket versioning is enabled. Now you have to click on create bucket. Now the next step is to go to your source bucket, which is in East 1 region. So I am going here to the source bucket. First of all, I am going to upload one file into it. So click on add files. Here I am uploading one CSV file. So let me upload this one. After that, click on upload. Once it is done, what I have to do, I have to go to the management and create a replication rule here. Always remember that the replication rule is created in source bucket only. So click on create replication rule. Now give your rule a name. So I am naming it as like this. Here it is asking where you want to apply the rule. So I want to apply for all the objects in the bucket. For destination, I am selecting my destination bucket, which is this one. Click on choose path. Next, it is asking me IAM role. So here I am going to click on create new IAM role and click on save. Now here it is asking that you want to replicate the existing object present in the bucket. So here I am saying it yes. So click on submit. Now what you have to do in this, you have to specify your completion report destination. So here I am choosing one more bucket. Let us say I am providing my completion report to go to this bucket. Next, permissions. So click on create new role and click on save. Now you can see that our batch operation mode is on and it is currently in the running phase. When it is successful, the objects present in the source bucket is copied to the destination bucket. Now here you can see that the total object that is copied is 1. Now you can go to bucket in order to check it and click on your destination bucket, and here you can see that your object is successfully copied into the destination. So this is how cross-region replication works in AWS S3. Hello everyone, in this video I am going to show how to host a static website on S3. So first of all, you have to search for here S3. Click on S3. Next, you have to click on create bucket. Give the name of your bucket. In my case, I am giving it as static website some number. Second thing, you have to enable the ACL, access control list. So basically, it defines which AWS account are grant access who can read the object items. So just enable it. Next, you have to disable the block public access. If you don't disable it, other people cannot access your website. So just uncheck this and click on acknowledge. If you want to enable the versioning, you can do that. Just click on enable. After that, what you have to do, you have to click on create bucket. Now go to your bucket, which is static website 3 to 5. Now here, you have to create one index.html page. So I am going to my Sublime text editor. Write something called as this is hello world application. Now save it as index.html. So let me just write index.html and that. Next, go to S3 and just upload that file. Click on add file. Click on index.html. Now click on upload. Once it is done, the next thing that you have to do is go to properties. Go to static website hashing. Currently it is disabled. Now you have to enable it. Click on edit and just enable it. Here, give your document the name. So my document name is index.html and click on save changes. Now, if you try to access your website, you can see that there is a 403 message written, means access denied. So in order to make it enable, what you have to do, just go to permission and in the bucket policy, you have to add this permission. Give your bucket a name here. So let me just copy my bucket name. Once it is done, what you have to do, click on save changes. Once this thing is done, go to properties, refresh it and just go to static website hosting. Now try to access this link. You can see that your website is successfully deployed on S3. Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to talk about Requestor Pay option in AWS S3. Let us understand it. Normally, when someone downloads or accesses the file from a S3 bucket, the person who owns the bucket have to pay for the data transfer. But if the Requestor Pay option is enabled, the person who is downloading or accessing the file have to pay for it instead of the bucket owner. So this is called as Requestor Pay. Now let us see the demo of Requestor Pay. First of all, you have to go to S3. Now go to any bucket. So in the last class, we have created a static website bucket. So go inside it. Now you have to enable the Requestor Pay. For that, you have to go to the properties section. In the property section, if you go down, you can see there is an option called as Requestor Pays. Now, by default, it is disabled. If you want to enable it, just click on edit and click on Enable and Save Changes. So this is what you have to do in order to enable the Requestor Pay option in AWS S3. In this video, let us talk about Object Lock in AWS S3. So it is a feature in AWS which helps you to keep your file safe from being accidentally deleted. In simple word, you can say that you are setting a rule so that no one can delete or change this file until the specific date or forever. One thing you have to remember, in order to enable the object lock, you must have versioning enabled inside your bucket. Let us see the demo of object lock. First of all, you have to go to S3. Here, you have to click on Create Bucket. Give your bucket a name. Suppose that I am giving the name as Object Lock Demo. Then make the object ownership ACL disabled. Block public access also take. Here in the bucket versioning section, you have to make it enable so that object lock can work. After that, what you have to do, here you have to go to advanced setting. In the advanced setting, you can see there is an option called as object lock. Now here what you have to do, you have to click on enable. Always remember that object lock follows a principle of worm. Worm means write once, read many. That helps you to prevent object from being deleted. So once it is done, what you have to do, you just have to acknowledge it and click on create bucket. Now here you can see there is an additional configuration is required to protect the object in the bucket. Now to view object lock setting, go to the bucket detail. Here you can see bucket versioning can't be suspended because object lock is enabled. So this is how you perform object lock demo in S3 bucket. Hello everyone, in this video I am going to talk about encryption in AWS. So in order to protect your data, you have to encrypt it. So this is called as encryption. And when you need the data back, so you have to decrypt it. So in this case, Amazon will take care of that. There are 3 types of encryption available in AWS S3. First of all, we have Amazon S3 Managed Keys. Second, we have Amazon Key Management Service. Third, we have dual layer encryption with AWS KMS keys. Now let us understand one by one. First of all, we have Amazon S3 Managed Keys. So here, Amazon puts a lock on your data with a key they have. They take care of everything, locking it, keeping the data safe, keeping the key safe, and unlocking it when you need it. In this case, you don't have to worry about the key. Amazon manages it for you. So that's why it is called as Amazon S3 Managed Keys. Second, we have AWS Key Management Service Keys. So here, you still get a lock from Amazon, but you have more control over the key. You can even change the key regularly, which make it harder for someone to open your data. In this case, you get to decide more about how the key is used, but Amazon still helps with the heavy lifting. Third, we have dual layer encryption with AWS KMS keys. So here what you do, you basically encrypt the data 2 more times. So this is called as dual layer encryption. Let us see the demo of encryption in AWS S3. First of all, you go to S3. click on create a bucket. Give your bucket a name. So I'm giving it as, let us say, dummy bucket this much. Object ownership, keep the ACL disabled. Block public access, enable. Then here you can see there is default encryption. So by default, we have Amazon S3 managed keys. This is of no charge, means you don't have to pay for it. But for the other two, you have to pay for the uses. Now if you select the second one, you can see here there is an option that you can create your KMS keys. So what you have to do, you just have to click on create a KMS key. You go inside KMS console. Now it will give you two options. What is your key type? It is symmetric or a non-symmetric. So you can make both of them. So currently we are doing symmetric and click on next. If you want to give the name as KMS and click on next. Now if you want to assign any role here, you can give a role, but currently we are not assigning any role. Now I'll click on next. Next. Then just click on finish. So this is how you create a keys. Now once it is done, what you have to do? Just go to choose from KMS keys and select the key. Once it is done, just click on the create bucket option. Hello everyone, in this video I am going to talk about transfer acceleration in AWS S3. It is a feature in S3 which helps you to send larger files from one location to another location. Earlier, what happened when you upload a file from your local storage to the Amazon S3 bucket, it happens directly. Now, in the transfer acceleration, what you will do? First of all, you will send your file to the Amazon nearest location. After that, Amazon will quickly send them to the final storage location using Amazon Superfast network. So by this way, you're uploading and downloading the large files you can do pretty much very quickly. If you want to compare the speed of the transfer acceleration, you can go to this website, S3 Transfer Acceleration Speed Comparison. Click on the first link and you can see that it will show you if you upload your file directly, what will be the speed, and if you upload it through transfer acceleration, what will be the speed. It will take some time. You can see here it is 4% faster than the direct upload speed. So the next question is how it does. So there is something called as CloudFront. So Amazon have several CloudFront locations across worldwide. So you can see that in North America, we have several locations available. So what happens when you try to upload a file, it will send to the nearest location and then after that, it will send to the Amazon main store. Now let us do the demo. First of all, you go to console, search for S3. Now you have to click on create bucket. So let us give a bucket a name. So I am giving the name as transfer acceleration. Rest leave default. Now click on create bucket. Once this thing is done, go to that bucket, go to the properties, and in the properties section, you can see one option called as transfer acceleration. Now by default, it is disabled. You can click on edit and make it enable. So here you can see it provide an endpoint. Now copy this endpoint and click on save changes. Now if you upload a file directly from the management console, the speed will be same. Means here you cannot enable the transfer acceleration directly from the AWS Management Console. For that, you have to use CLI. So, click on the cloudshell, upload one file here. So, click on upload file. I am taking this file called as abc.png. Click on upload. Now, I will write this command, which is AWS S3 cp, which is copy. What is your file name? abc.png. Then you have to specify the location. So what is the location here? S3 colon. The name is transfer acceleration. Transfer acceleration 32434. After that, you have to provide your endpoint that you have copied. So here you have to give your endpoint. So endpoint URL and just copy your endpoint URL here. Now one thing you have to do here, you have to write HTTPS in front of it. So HTTPS and it's done. Just click on enter and here you can see you have uploaded the file into that bucket. Now if you just close it and go to bucket and if you refresh, here you can see it is uploaded. So this is how you perform transfer acceleration in S3. Hello everyone, in this video I am going to talk about multi-part upload in AWS S3. It is a feature in AWS which helps you to upload large files by breaking them into smaller parts. As you can see that in the diagram, suppose that I have a 1 terabyte file. It is broken down into 4 chunks, 25% each. Now each part will be uploaded independently, and once all the parts are uploaded, S3 combines them into a single file. So this is how the multi-part upload works. Now let us see the demo. There is one prerequisite for this. You must have WSL installed on your Windows machine. So what you have to do, go to CMD and type here WSL -- install. Once you install it, it will ask for a password. So you just give the password and that's it. After that, what you have to do, go to S3, click on create a bucket. Give your bucket a name. So I am giving the name as multipart upload 0072. Next, the ACL will be disabled. Block all public access will be enabled. Versioning, make it enable and click on create bucket. Now your bucket is created. Go inside your bucket. The second thing that you need is access keys. So why we need access keys? Access keys are required when you want to access AWS with the CLI. Now you have to search for IAM. Click here. Now in the IAM, you have an option called as security credential. Go to security credential. Now in the access keys, you can click on create access key. Click on understand. Click on create access key. It will give you two things. First is access key. Second is secret access key. Now you can download this detail. Next, this is my location where my data is present. Now I have opened CMD here. Right here, WSL Next, you have to write clear. Once it is done, you have to install something called as AWS CLI on your WSL. So just follow this command, sudo snap install AWS CLI. It is asking for password, so just give your password, and you can see that in my case it is already installed. Once it is done, what you have to do next, I have to configure our secret key and access secret key. For that you have to write AWS configure, give your secret key, so just copy it from here. Now give your secret access key, same thing, copy it from here. Now click on enter, default region name, enter, output format, enter. That's it. Once it is done, clear the screen. Now what you have to do, you have to split this file into, let us say I want to split this file into 2 chunks. So I have to use something called as split command. So here, this is the command that you have to use. Split -v, and I want to split it into 200 MB file. Or you can make it as 150, let us say. Once it is done, click on enter. Now here you can see the file is splitted into 2 parts. Next thing, what I have to do is I have to create a multi-part upload API on this bucket. So this is the command that you have to use. So the command is S3 API create multi-part upload, then your bucket name, which is multipart upload 0072. After that your file name, which is demo.mp4. Now click on enter. Now once this thing is done, what you have to do, you copy the upload ID. Copy the upload ID and paste it somewhere. So let me just paste it here. Next, what you have to do, you have to upload each part one by one. Now let me copy the first part. So the command is S3 API upload part, then your bucket name, then your key file, which is demo.mp4, your part number is 1, and your file name is XAA. Now here you have to paste your upload ID. Now let me paste my upload ID here. It will take some time to upload. Similarly, you have to upload the second part of the file. So you can see that the name of the file is XAB. So what I will do, I will specify the part number is 2 and the name is XAB. Click on enter. Now you can see both the part has been uploaded. If you want to verify, you can use list command. So AWS S3 API list parts. Now here you have to provide your upload ID. Let me copy it here. Now here you can see the part number 1 and the part number 2 is uploaded. Now what you have to do, you just have to copy these e tags. Now you have to create a file named as parts.json, which is in this format. Now what you have to do, you have to copy the e tag and paste it here. Now let me go to my CLI. So this is my first e tag. So let me copy it and This is my second e-tag. Once it is done, save it. The next thing that you have to do is, now you have to complete your multipart upload. So in order to complete the multipart upload, you have to concatenate both the file that you have splitted. So the command for this is this. So AWS S3 API complete multipart upload. Now here you have to provide your upload ID. So you can see that your upload ID is this. Copy it and just paste it here. Once it is done, click on enter. Now you can see it is successfully uploaded. Now if you want to verify, what you have to do, go to S3. Now just refresh this thing and you can see it is uploaded. You can verify the size also. As you can see, the file is 250.4 MB. And if you go here, you can see the file is 250.4 MB. This is how you perform multi-part upload in S3. Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to talk about various types of S3 command that you can execute in cloudshell. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to open cloudshell. So click on cloudshell. Next, what you have to do, you have to open it in new browser. So click on here. The first thing that you have to do is list all the file, all the bucket present inside the S3 bucket. So what you will write? You will write AWS S3 ls. So it will give you all the bucket name present inside S3. So here you can see that there are 3 buckets which are present inside S3. Next, let us say you want to list all the file present in this bucket. So what you will do, you will write AWS S3 ls, then your bucket name. So how will you write? You will write S3 SageMaker project dataset. Once it is done, you have to click on enter. So it will list you all the file present inside this bucket. Next, what we will be doing, we will be going to follow this block to execute all the commands in the cloudshell. Now, what we will do, we will see how to create a bucket. So in order to create a bucket, you have to use this command. So here you can see, first of all, what we are doing, we are using AWS, then S3 API, then create bucket function, and after that we have given the bucket name. For example, in this case, I am giving my new bucket 007. The reason is EU North 1 and create bucket configuration and location constant is EU North 1. Once it is done, click on enter. Here you can see the bucket is created. You can verify this by using AWS S3 ls. Here you can see the bucket is created. Next, if you want to clear the screen, what you have to do, you just have to type here clear. Next, let us say you want to enable versioning in that bucket. So what you will do, you will have to use this command. So in this command, what is we are doing? First of all, we are specifying our bucket name, which is my new bucket 007. And then in the configuration status, we are giving it enable. After that, you have to click on paste and it will enable versioning in that bucket. Next, let us say you want to upload a file in that bucket. So what you have to do, you have to click on action, click on upload file. Here select the file that you want to upload. So I am uploading one CSV file, so I will write twits.csv and click on open. Once the file is uploaded, now what you have to do, you just have to copy this command. So in this command, we are copying the twits.csv into our bucket. Make sure the spelling should be correct. Now click on paste. Here you can see our file is getting uploaded into that bucket. You can verify it by going to the S3 bucket and go to that bucket that you have created. Just do one refresh. And here you can see there is a file present. We have name as twit.csv. Now let us say that you want to download that file that you have just uploaded. So this is the command that you have to use. AWS S3 CP, your bucket name and your file name. And then after that there is a dot. Click on enter. And here you can see it is get downloaded. Next, let us say you want to create a folder in that bucket. So this is the command that you have to use. First of all, you have to specify your bucket name, which is my new bucket 007, and you have to provide your folder name, which is destination. Now press enter. And this is the folder you created. You can verify it here. Just refresh it, and here you can see there is a destination folder. Next, suppose that you want to copy this file twits.csv into the destination folder. So this is the command that you have to use. First of all, you have to write AWS, then S3, then CP. After that, you have to specify your source path. So just go there, just copy this source path. Paste it here. Next, you have to specify your destination. So here, copy the destination. Now press enter. Here you can see it is copied. You can verify it here. Just press refresh, go to destination folder, and here we can see there is a twits.csv file. Similarly, if you want to move a file from one bucket to another bucket, you have to use this command. AWS S3 MB. Then you have to specify your source. Let me select twits.csv as the source. Just copy S3 URI. Now, let me specify the destination. So just select the destination and copy S3 URI. Press enter. And here you can see it is moved. You can verify it here. Just press refresh. And we can see it is moved to the destination folder. Now let us say you want to delete this bucket, but it has versioning enabled. So this is the command that you have to use. So first of all, you have to specify your bucket name. So here you can see it is data 3456. Now we have to make it as my new bucket 007. So my new bucket 007. Similarly, you have to rename the object version also here. Once it is done, you have to press enter. Now here you can see all the files present in that bucket and their version is also get deleted. Now let us verify this that all version has been deleted or not by using this command. Now you have to press enter. So here we can see that there is still one marker is left in order to delete it. So what you have to do? You have to delete this marker, then you have to delete the bucket. So you have to use this command. Specify the version ID and the bucket name. And here we can see that marker is deleted. Now what we have to do? We have to delete the bucket permanently. So we have to use RB command and the bucket name. Now we can see that the bucket is deleted. Let us verify it. AWS S3 ls. And now we can see there is no bucket named 007.